All right, y'all. Let's see how this go. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's do the review.
Oh yes, bitches and hoes. I'm back.
I'll drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate up for discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Hey, y'all. It's your girl Voodoo back with another review. And we're doing Real Housewives of Atlanta season 15, episode 8. And I just want to tell you right off the bat, we starting off with Drew, and it's really upsetting me and my homegirls. Why do we have to start I get it. This is Drew episode because this really is about her video and all of that. But nevertheless, let's just get over with Drew. Anyway, Drew opens up the episode with her assistant, and why she got assistant? Drew just annoyed me. I'm sorry, y'all, but she opens up with her new assistant or her assistant basically and telling her she done got the dance down pat for her little video or whatever the case may be. She said she got the 8 count. Now she asked Alexa to play her song, and Alexa didn't know what the song was. She had to go over there and rephrase it, and then Alexa came up with a song, and she gets over there to do the 8 count and messed it up. Talking about she ain't been dancing in 10 years. Girl, I think Drew's whole life is an act. I do. You know how them people that come up in theater, everything is all theatrical. I think everything, Drew's entire life is an act. Her marriage, everything. I think her career, you know what I mean? Like, I think everything is just an act. And it may be just me. I don't know, but that's just how I feel. But nevertheless. So after she finished that, Ralph walks in with baby Nana. She's so cute. She's a perfect combination of her and Ralph. She actually looks very much like Drew, and she looks like her daddy too as well. But he walks in there with Nana. Child, Nana don't want to be bothered with no doggone Drew. But Drew seems to think that she's daddified, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so she talks about her sister and who was her manager. And she said her sister was her manager, and she stopped being a manager in 2020 because she had a mental health break. But she do regret not having a relationship as a sister, but they've always had that manager, worker kind of relationship. How old is her sister? Her sister must be much older because Drew mama do look old. I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, and that's not no dig. She just looked like an older woman. But Ralph, she talks to Ralph and tells Ralph that the sister wanted to come by the house. And he looking crazy because he feel like, she hurt him in the past by calling him manipulative. Well, you are, Ralph. Everybody knew that. Controlling and manipulative, those are nicer adjectives to describe you, Ralph. But he talking about he had them banned the lady from the house. She can't come over there or whatever the case may be. And he won't be here when she get there. Let's move on because both of them get on my nerves. And then furthermore, hold on, before we move on, why is y'all still acting like y'all married and y'all happy when y'all just filed for divorce? Either the divorce is an act or this is an act. Either one or either way, y'all are an act. And that's what I don't like about Drew and Ralph's whole storyline. It's all an act. They playing in our face because we on episode 8 and y'all ain't had a beef yet. Make it make sense. Yep, y'all down there at the not child support, at the judge filing for divorces and whatnot. Girl, that's why I don't like dealing with Drew and them. Let's move on. So now we move to the next scene. Sheree is over there on a conference call with a guy about She by Sheree. I don't know if he's like her warehouse manager. I don't know what he is, but she's on a conference call with him talking about She by Sheree. She said the people been waiting, girl. We been stopped waiting, but yeah, she's talking to him about the She by Sheree. Now she asked this dude why he don't wear a She by Sheree hat, and I wanted to say cause Sheree, they ain't got no doggone hats for him to wear. What is you asking? I'm confused. But anyway, girl, she getting her confessional and the producer asked her if she made a profit yet. And she said, no, not yet. But nevertheless, her and her assistant is down there scheduling a photo shoot because she's got the She by Sheree for the little kids, for the babies. I hope that's not as expensive as that other stuff on your website, Sheree, because that stuff is overpriced. I'm sorry. And this let me just say this about black people in business. Cause see, and then they feel like cause they black, you have to support them. No, that stuff that Sheree got on her website is uber expensive. I don't know who her target audience is, but it ain't the average everyday girl. Her audience must be the housewives up in Atlanta because you done put this line out and it's overpriced and the average everyday girl can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? So when you done made these baby clothes, you better be sure that this is affordable for them churn. At least make it affordable for the damn churn. Come on now, Sheree. So anywho, the conference call ends and she brings up the fact that Kandi was basically making fun of her stuff on her website and she didn't like it. Now, I'll say this. The Kandi Yams are very, very loyal to Kandi. We know this. And Kandi, with the platform that she has, I'm on Sheree's side in this particular instance that it's wrong for you to get on your platform and say negative things about She by Sheree, calling it She by Sheen. I know you just repeated it, but ultimately that could deter all your Kandi Yams from not wanting to buy nothing from She by Sheree. So I understand Sheree feeling like, dang, you ain't have to get up on your platform and dog me like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's big. You know what I mean? But Kandi seems to feel like it's a joke and she should just take a joke. Kandi, you wrong. Because if it's anybody say something about your man or your business, you lose your top. So you have to understand that what you're doing is effective and it's wrong. Negatively effective, if it makes sense. So I don't like that. She should just take a joke thing. Honestly, I hate that you even have the platform because too much commentary is given on that platform. But nevertheless, I just feel like in that instance, Sheree is right. Now, Sheree sends her a text and basically tells her she want to meet up with her later on. And she said, okay, cool, we could do that or whatever the case may be. And hopefully they come to some resolve. Let's move on. So now we move to the next scene and we got Marlo doing her glam it up thing online. It's basically I guess like education on how to deal with foster kids because she does her thing with foster girls and all of that stuff. I think that's a dope idea. Marlo, if you had included this a little bit more, or not even a little bit more, stuff like this more in your storyline, people wouldn't be hating you right now. Because right now, you just creating issues that ain't there. It's making you look like you have a mental issue. You know what I mean? But this is the stuff and the things that people wanted to know about Marlo before you had the peach. But you don't focus a lot on that. You too busy running around here creating beats with Kandi that don't need to even be created. You know what I mean? But anyway, so she's on the line or whatever the case may be with the girls, and they were giving her tips and giving the people tips, on how to deal with foster kids. And Sanya walks in. Sanya supports Marlo. She loves Marlo. She kisses Marlo's behind. We know that's what she does. But Sanya walks in. I like you, Sanya, but it's just giving too much kissing of the ass for me. You know what I mean? But anyway, she walks in. They sit down and have a conversation. And she lets us know Belk has picked up her Mommy Nation sweater. Shout out to Sanya. All here for the women in the business. Shout out to Sanya for having Belk pick up her line. But then she asked Marlo, she was like, Marlo, you are so nice and so supportive. Why is it that the other girls don't get to see this Marlo, right? Because basically you're saying you making me look crazy when I'm saying you're not that bad because every time you turn around, you yelling and fussing with somebody. Marlo basically feels like, well, you know what? These girls just be getting it out of me. And she didn't appreciate the fact that Kandi said, fuck her and them flowers. That's what she said. Kandi, that was a little bit harsh, but it is Marlo, so it is what it is. But basically, she's disagreeing with her. And she says, she tries to be nice to the girls, but, she felt like the way Kandi handled that whole thing with her nephew's funeral was messed up. No, it wasn't, Marlo. You making stuff up. And she just said that they could have handled it better, period. So now, she lets Sanya know about this Jamaican man that she's supposed to be going out on a date with. And it's just like, girl, because she said, y'all always say she only dating old white men. She's going to date a black Jamaican man. Yes. Okay, Marlo, that don't mean we still don't believe you don't date old white men. That just means you just put a little pepper in the salt. Let's move on. So now we move to the next scene. Sheree invites Kandi out in the park. It looks like in the dead of winter in some Christian Louboutins and a mink on. Girl, Sheree, Listen, one thing about Sheree. Sheree comes with the fashions, but what is this? Now, I know Sheree comes with the fashions, but this is a bit much. Nevertheless, they sit down, they have a conversation, and she starts off by basically telling Kandi that basically, hey, look, girl, I always supported you. Kandi said, yes, that's true. You always support me in everything that I have and everything that I do. She said, but I really don't think that it was cool that you got on your big platform with the candy yams and was talking about my thing is She by Sheen. You know what I mean? Because she feels like you got 10.4 million followers on your Instagram and all of that stuff. And when you say things like that on your big platform, that negatively affects or can negatively affect sales for me. Sheree is 100% right. She's 100% right, because when you say stuff like that, it could negatively affect the candy yams and all the people like that. You know what I mean? But at first, Kandi's looking a little bit perturbed because she's just like, well, I don't think it was that, big of a deal. I wasn't really shading your business. I just said that, what the boy said online. The boy called it She by Sheen. And so they get into a whole back and forth. And Sheree's trying to hold on to the fact that she said the site crashed. Sheree, the site didn't crash, girl. We all went up there to look for it, girl. It wasn't there. It wasn't there. It was never there. That's just what it is. But Kandi said she ain't never purchased nothing because when she tried to purchase something, the site wasn't working. So how she gonna support if the site don't work? Now Sheree goes into her, how she do when she get the line talking about how it was back ordered and the site crashed and then with the pieces. Girl, I don't know what Sheree was saying. I don't know what she was saying, but Sheree brings up the fact that, Kandi, while you over here trying to shade me, girl, your restaurant didn't pass the health inspection. You know what I'm saying? So what is you saying? And Kandi was like, but I came back and passed it. The difference between you and I is you didn't put the stuff up. Like, what is you saying? And I'm with Kandi on that. Now, come on now. Then you brought up the fact that she got a stove. I didn't even know Kandi had a stove and that she only got stuff you could wash one time. Kandi said, girl, that's fine. You're not digging at me because I don't own no brand of clothes. I just let people sell their stuff out my store. What is you saying? I'm like, Kandi, girl, you got businesses all around the world. Go ahead on, Kandi. But Sheree also brought up the fact that she brought 12 people with her down there to, I don't know if it was Blaze or if it was OLG, but she said she waited 3 hours for her food and they didn't even have everything on the menu. She said, and I never once did an interview going around there dragging your business. Sheree is right in this one, y'all. I know y'all got y'all phased, but Sheree is right. She didn't go on no interviews dragging OLG or Blaze or whatever the case may be. So, it's kind of wrong that Kandi got up there. It's one thing, the little fun shade with the spoofs, but when you start talking about the clothes and the quality of the clothes, it is negative. It just is. Well, I will say this. Shout out to Kandi because she understood and she said she apologized. Just when I'm thinking it's over, here comes Sheree with some more stuff. And then Kandi says, look, we suggested that you just get some clothes and put your brand on it. That's what we suggested to you at first. But when we suggested that to you, you said you was too good for all of that. Sheree's whole thing was, well, no, that's not true. I just didn't want to do it at the time. Sheree, is the stuff from Shein or not? That's what we want to know. Kandi, stop saying it's from Shein, but Sheree, is the stuff from Shein. They said, not me. They said that they put the side by side and it's directly from Shein. And I ain't got no problem with that. My only problem with Sheree would be if it is from Shein, you need to knock them prices down, fat. You quadrupling the doggone, more than quadrupling. I don't even know the number after quadruple, but whatever it is, you making too much money off of these people's stuff. If that's the case, you know what I mean? But, I'm glad Kandi took accountability. Shout out to Kandi so we can move on because I don't like to see y'all fight. Let's move on to the next scene. So in the little short clips, we got Brooklyn and Kenya making cookies. Listen, I wish we get to see Brooklyn a little bit more. I love the space Kenya be in when she be with Brooklyn. And Brooklyn looks like she is a ray of sunshine and a beautiful little girl to have. You are lucky and blessed, Kenya, to have you a little Brooklyn. I see why you want to make another one, but don't do it with Mark. Okay? Anyway, let's move on. Oh, in the next clip, we got Ross and Sanya scheduling to have sex so they can get pregnant again, girl. If I got to schedule it, child, it might drive me up. But anyway, we just happen to see Ross is home because Ross don't be home. Ross came home to get her knocked up. Shout out to Ross. Go ahead on. I'm pretty sure that thing swang. Let's move on. So now in the next scene, Kandi Yams and Todd is over there discussing his movie, girl. Because we got to give Todd Todd has to have his moments, you know. Jeez Louise. But anyway, she over there discussing the movie with Todd, and we find out that they want Drew to play I guess the female interest in the movie or whatever the case may be. But the problem is the girl in the movie is supposed to be getting turned out by another woman, and he wants Kandi to play that part. Now Kandi's whole thing is, I don't really want to be typecast as the girl who go around turning everybody to daggers. That's basically what it is. But I caught when Ty said art imitates life, so that means that's what they said. That's what Ty said. Ty said art imitates life. That's what he said. But anyway, she don't want to be typecast as that, so she don't want to go and do it again. But she got to even make sure Drew still want to do the doggone movie. Because he's dead set on having Drew play in this movie. Because they say Drew is a good actor. Now, I've seen Drew in not Girlfriends. What that was? The Game. And she played T-Bies. I don't know. She might not be a bad actor. I just don't remember her. Like, nothing really stands out to me. But he's dead set on having this girl in this doggone movie or whatever the case may be. But anyway, let's move on to the next scene. Now, in the next scene, Drew and Pastor Jeanette is over there at the house. Drew's ready for her video shoot. It's tomorrow, I guess, the next day or whatever the case may be. And she's showing her mama all the stuff that they planning on doing in the video. So a couple hours after filming wrapped, her sister did show up. Everybody was happy to see each other. Drew said she want her family to be a family again, but Wreck-It Ralph head ass went upstairs and didn't want to be downstairs when the sister came. Ooh, that just drives me. And, you know, I never really cared for Wreck-It Ralph or Drew, to be completely honest. Drew's a beautiful girl, but like I said, their whole life is an act. Not with a T, with a C and a K. Their whole life is an act. But I just hate that he would do that to that lady. You know what I'm saying? Because she told Drew the truth. That's just what it is. People only react the worst when it's the truth. And that's just the fact of the matter. So anyway, let's move on. It's the day of the video shoot. It's Drew's big day. She's in the back getting ready. I liked her little outfit. The little short she had on. I couldn't really get a good photo, but you know, the outfit she had on was nice or whatever the case may be. But she's going around getting everybody together. They ready to start shooting this video. But before she actually started the shoot, she ended up introducing her sister to the girls. And we found out that the sister been managing her since she was 8, which would lead me to believe that the sister could be old enough to be her mama. That's the only thing I could deduce from that. But she introduces her sister to cousin Courtney. Has anybody verified this is a cousin for real yet? Because it's just given, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Drew's whole life is an act. So it could be something that they put together to have, you know, something to say on the storyline. That's just the way I feel about it. Because ain't nobody never verified that this is a real cousin. It might be a kissing cousin. Hide your man, watch your man. Say what I say. But anyway, so the girls are there. And they asking her where is doggone Kandi and Sheree. And I believe they said Sheree had a prior engagement and she said Kandi was supposed to be coming, but Kandi never made it there. So we don't know where Kandi at. Kandi, you wrong for that. Anyway, so now the video shoot gets underway. I don't know if y'all remember that white boy, but he be on TikTok. He skate real good. But anyway, I'm with Sanya. Sanya says, I don't know why she picked roller skating to do. First of all, we found out Drew can't even roller skate. She just started learning. She said she learned way back in the gap, but she just need, you know, some time. Girl, anyway, I'm with Sanya. Play with something safe because you always busting your behind. You know what I mean? I really believe something is wrong with Drew. That's just what it is. But the video ended up coming out nice. I saw it, the little clips they had on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And it looked like it came out to be a nice little production, you know, video. Now, Kenya said it's giving low budget Beyonce, but that's what Kenya said. That ain't what I said. That's what Kenya said. But ultimately, the girls look like they had a good time. They really do. It looked like it was a cute, fun, colorful video. They skating. I believe I saw her get up on Ralph. It was giving ill, but that's her husband, so we gonna have to let that ride. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was a cute little shoot. Shout out to that. Well, after the shoot ended and wrapped, Ralph goes over to actually have a conversation with Drew's sister and asked her how she felt about it. And she said she had been telling Drew to do this, so she had the idea first, and she's just happy to see that it's coming to fruition. She began to cry, and it was in that moment I said she might suffer from like depression or something like that, because she the waterworks really came on really fast, and you could tell she's going through a lot. But shout out to Ralph. Ralph said he's gonna be able to move past their issues, because he want everybody to be a family. You know what I mean? Even though his sister, or Drew's sister, I'm sorry, must have cussed him out real good one of them times, he's willing to move past this. Shout out to Ralph, because you need to do that for the sake of your wife. Period. Drew came over there. Her mama came over there and was crying and was like, she's so happy they gonna all be a family. Shout out to the Drews. Let's move on. So now in the last and final scene, Marlo is getting dressed for her date, or whatever the case may be. The boys is over there helping her. It's a little bit of sweet for the boys. They don't want Marlo to go out on a date and find a man, because that's gonna take away from them, as children typically think, or whatever the case may be. But she looked cute. Now she gets in her car with her driver, and she calls Sanya, was like, girl, you didn't even call and check on me today. It's my date, like, what's going on? And Sanya was like, listen, I'm sorry, my bad, but just go in with low expectations. You know what I mean? Don't overthink it. Just have a good time and have fun. Now she asked Sanya where she was, and Sanya told her she was at the video shoot. So after calling the girl a traitor, she basically said, well, I ought to call Drew and FaceTime her just to see what she gonna say, because she all fake. And I'm just sitting here saying, girl, just say you really wish that you was there. Say you really wish that you was invited to the video shoot. Just say that, because that's what it's giving. But anyway, she hangs up with Sanya, I'm sorry, and calls Drew. And when she called Drew on FaceTime, Drew was like, hello? Like, she's very taken aback. Like, she can't believe that this girl called her. But she tried to be fake with her and apologize as usual. The wheel of apology with Marlo really gets under my skin. But Drew was like, girl, we got to set some boundaries. We got to do this, that, and the third. She done hung up on Drew, girl. I say, oh, Lord. That's so bad. It wasn't funny, but it was funny. She done hung up on Drew. She said Drew fake as hell. She said she bad built. Her man don't want her, and her wig be buckling up. She said it was buckling up on the FaceTime. I said, oh my God. You ain't have to go that hard, Marlo. You ain't have to do all that. That was a bit much. But anyway, so after she hangs up with Drew, she realized she's at a strip mall and she don't like it. However, when she walks in, this is the date. I forgot his name. Did I write his name down? I don't know, but he cute. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's his restaurant. So it's not so bad that you're showing up at a date, in the strip mall. Marlo's a very classy girl. She's a classy girl. So he showed up. He got the flowers. You know what I'm saying? He ordering food. Like, I'm like, oh, I like him. He's not a bad looking man. I'm like, go ahead on. But he's a chef. He's a chef, and he opened his own restaurant. Shout out to the black people in Atlanta opening up all of these businesses or whatever. So after they get their drinks and they sit down and they order some food, they get to talking to each other to get to know each other. And basically, he's 39 with 3 kids. Now, in the first instance, you're sitting here saying that ain't too bad. But when he went to naming out the ages, I'd have said, oh, hell no. This man kids is 15, 2, and 1. That means you just jumped out of the cooch that had the last baby. That's big. And it makes sense why he was so sweet and he was like love bombing her with gifts and all of that. That's how he get them women to open their legs and a baby come out of it. That's what I'm getting from it. But they asked her assistant why she hooked her up with him. And she said because he got his own business, he could cook, and Marlo liked to eat. And also, he gonna go back and forth with her. He not gonna let Marlo just have her way. So maybe that is what Marlo need. But Marlo, at first, she was liking him. Then with the kids, it was kind of like going down. Like, I don't know about this. But she ended up saying that she liked him anyway. Now, let me say something I didn't like. I didn't like when they were talking about the shrimp when they were eating. And he was like, you don't want to suck the head? That was, to me, a bit too much on the first date. Like, dang, dude, just learn my name and memorize my phone number at least. Like, geez, Louise, like, you went straight for the gusto. And I was like, he nasty. That's why he got them churn 1 and 2. He just around here making baby mamas. I don't like it. But he got a restaurant, so I probably just talk to him, but I wouldn't take him serious. You know what I mean? But anyway, they bond over the fact that they've both been locked up, and that was enough to seal the deal. Marlo said she want to see where this goes. Girl, if that's what it takes, it don't take much. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about this episode and Drew's video and Marlo's date and Kandi and Sheree. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you hoes later. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo dog time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.